ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। नारायणं गुरुं वन्दे शरण्यं भक्तबान्धवं गौरमनुविष्टं पूर्णां राधदास्यं प्रदायकम् रूपानुगाचार्यवर्यं रूपमञ्जरिप्रेष्ठकं पतितपावनकरुणीयं युगाचार्य नारायणं वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुष्ये नमः। श्यामसुन्दर श्रीकन्दशेखर स्मेरहासर मुरली मनोहर राधिकर सिकमं कृपानिधे स्वप्रिया चरण किङ्करीं कुरु। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वृन्दाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवास च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatam Shri Guru Pada Padma Nita Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Shtotara Satasi Srimadu Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva, and to my most worshipable Shiksha and Sannyas Guru Nita Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Shtotara Satasi Srimadu Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shirupanu Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavata Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. Verse 35. Gopinam tatpatinam cha sarvesham eva dehinam yonam tascharati sodyaksha kridanineha deha bhag. Krishna is the super soul and master dwelling in the hearts of the gopis, their husbands, and indeed of all living entities. The same Sri Bhagavan manifests his divine form to engage in playful pastimes. So now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. So in the previous verse, the relationship of Paramur, means Parakya, of gopis and Krishna has been accepted. And all the bad mundane understanding regarding this has been completely dismissed by logic. Means that they have explained very well why Krishna was playing Rasa with the gopis. And just to remind you, they explained in two different ways. One was first to prove that Krishna is God and whatever he does, this is correct. And the other way was to say that even though Krishna may seem to be like a human being, he is the embodiment of dharma, so he can never do anything wrong. So nevertheless, the gopis, they are still being seen as adulteresses by the common people, and they are condemned for this. Sri Shukadeva Goswami, he has not been able to tolerate this accusation and dismissed the Paramur relationship, which is the root of the blame given to the gopis in this verse. So Shukadeva Goswami, he's saying that the gopis are involved in extramarital relations with Krishna, but he is not held at fault. Means Krishna is not making any mistake, but still the gopis are considered to be unchaste wives, and he is associating with them. So he is also to be accepted as a bad character. If this accusation is not nullified, then the gopis will always be condemned. And this is intolerable for Shukadeva Goswami. So in this verse, he is dismissing the Paramur relation between the gopis and Krishna. What he means to say is that this Paramur relation is not real. This is only external, one type of pastime. Krishna is the ultimate transcendental personality, who is also the super soul of the gopis Paramatma, their family members, and the entirety of all beings of Vrindavan and all beings of existence comes to this realm to perform pastimes. So Sridhara Swami Pada, he explained that Krishna is Adhyaksha, he is the witness of everyone's thoughts and activities. It means that Krishna, he is the super soul in all living beings. So there is nothing which does not belong to him. Therefore, the blame of adultery becomes completely meaningless, and the idea that gopis are paramours of Krishna is dismissed. Someone might raise one objection, saying that Paramatma has no form, but Shri Krishna has a very special form. So what is the difference between him and us? In answer to this, then Shukadeva Goswami say, the very same Krishna has been confirmed as being Bhagavan in the previous verse. So he is actually distinct from all of us. He's Bhagavan. He's not like us. He is not like all of us. He is Bhagavan. And out of his own sweet will, he manifests his transcendental form, not due to reactions of any karma like the ordinary jivas. His form is only for pastimes. The super soul has been called formless. The reason is that since he's sitting inside as the super soul, he has no form. But Srimad Bhagavatam 2:28 gives evidence that he has form. Echiswa dehanta ridhaya vakashe pradesha matram purusham vasantam. Some persons meditate on a personality the size of the thumb residing within the heart, holding a conch, disc, club, and lotus flower in his four hands. So this is the description of Paramatma, Paramatma's form. According to this evidence, we can think that a super soul has the size of a thumb and resides in the hearts of the jiva. So how he can perform birth and other pastimes if he is eternal? The answer is that one who is the master of all living beings takes on any form out of his own will, not due to karma. And we living beings, we have no contact with someone else's Atma. But Bhagavan is the soul of all beings, present within everyone. So Krishna resides in the hearts of the Brajagopis, their family members as well, and all the living beings, and provides all of them the qualification to participate in his pastimes. He is the superintendent of all the different qualifications. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44-14, the ladies of Mathura, they praise the love of the Brajagopis. They say, what austerities these cowherd girls have performed that they continuously drink the nectar of Krishna's beauty. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-4, the gopis say, Katyayani Mahamaye, O Mahamaya Katyayani, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj our husband. And in Bhagavatam 10:47-21, they ask, Api Bhatta Madhu Puryam, O gentle one, is Krishna still in Mathura? Does he ever think about his father's home and his cowherd friends? Does he ever talk about us, his maidservants? So in all these verses, it is seen that the gopis have very special intimate feelings for Krishna. They see him as their Lord and Master in the form of a husband, not in any other way. If you check the word pati in the dictionary, you will see this word is not only meaning husband. It means also hero, protector, maintainer, leader. So when the gopis say pati, pating me kuruti namaha, make Krishna my pati, you can translate as a husband, but you can translate also as a hero, as a master, as a protector. So the feeling is that everyone depends on Krishna, and that is the meaning of parakya. Then someone may ask, why Krishna does not play in the form of Paramatma, only in the form of Krishna? So the answer is that Krishna has a specific form to play Rasa, and different form to perform different things. So Paramatma has not such form that he can play Rasa. It's not possible, not suitable. So one also might object that if Krishna is a super soul, then his being the possessor of everything is taking too far. Just because he is Antaryami, means he's the witness inside, it does not mean that some other man's wives can become his own wife. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:60-45, there is evidence to reconcile this. In Dwaraka Lila, Rukmini replies to Krishna's joking words by saying, Prabhu, a foolish woman who has not worshipped your transcendental lotus feet and who has never relished even one drop of the sweet honey coming from them, accept as her husband a mortal man, whose body is a living corpse, consisting of muscles, bones, blood, parasites, stool, mucus, bile, and air, and externally covered by skin, hair, whiskers, beard, nails, and bodily hairs. Without this outside cover, the body would smell so bad that would attract millions of flies and bugs. So according to this statement, Bhagavan Shri Krishna's extremely effulgent form consists of Vishuddha Sattva, eternal spiritual existence. And the Brajagopis' forms are the same. Thus, Shri Krishna can never be attracted to someone else's body made of stool, urine, etc., because these substances are repulsive. He is only attracted to a similar type of body, transcendental body. And then, in the next verse, Krishna says, the people will become eager to dedicate themselves to me after hearing the narrations of these supremely auspicious pastimes. But the Paramu relationship and the splendor of Nattvajala Rasa cannot be fully understood when the devotee still has not achieved perfection. In such a state, he cannot taste the real pleasure of this lila. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:29-9, it says that those Braja Gopis who were not able to attain perfection through sadhana, they were locked up in their houses and they gave up their bodies. Okay, but what is the explanation for Krishna's attraction to Kubja in Mathura? Srimad Bhagavatam 10:42-8 says that the same Kubja was transformed into a very beautiful high-class lady by the touch of Krishna. And Krishna's touch is like the touchstone. Then he made her qualified to meet with him. Just like the iron can be turned into gold by the touch of the stone, Krishna made Kubja perfected just to be able to meet with him. Another example is Dhruva Maharaj, who after receiving the touch of Narayana's conch, he reached Vaikuntha in the same body. So it means that all these devotees, after they received they granted the perfection, they achieved the highest type of pleasure. But in the case of the gopis, this is not applicable. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:32-10 says that the fair ladies of Braj embellished Krishna. It does not say that he embellished the gopis. Means Krishna can make Kubja more beautiful, but he cannot make the gopis more beautiful. Actually, the gopis make Krishna more beautiful. In the Bhagavatam 10:47-60, it says that in the Rasa festival, Shri Krishna embraced the Braja gopis around their necks with his vine-like arms. Such a boon was never given to Lakshmi Devi, the demigoddesses, or any beautiful women in this world. So this verse testifies the superiority of the Braja Gopis over Lakshmi Devi and the heavenly goddesses. So, and this verse 35 says the same conclusion, brings the same conclusion. So Krishna resides as a super soul in the Gopis' heart, and their so-called husbands, the cowherd man, the cows, and all the living beings. How? In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:90-48, it says, Jayati Janani Vaso. All glories to he who resides in the hearts of all living beings as a super soul, and who also lives with the cowherd community. He takes birth from the womb of Devaki, means Jashoda. But this is just a theory, and he is indeed unborn, eternal. He is served by the Jadavas, who are his associates. Just by his desire, he can annihilate evil, but he uses his strong arms, or devotees like the Pandavas, to destroy the irreligious demons. He takes away the miseries of all the moving and non-moving beings of this world. It means he also destroyed the agonies of the Brajabasis in separation from him. He increases the feelings of love in the Brajagopis and in also his queens in Dwaraka, displaying his charming, blissful, smiling face. May that Shri Krishna be victorious. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-32, it says, how astonishing it is that the abode of supreme bliss, who is the complete absolute truth, is playing as the eternal friend of the greatly fortunate Nanda Maharaja and his fellow residents of Braja. So the Gopaltapani Upanishad also says that Sri Bhagavan, in the form of a cowherd boy, eternally enjoys himself with the cows, gopas and gopis. But out of this, he amuses himself with the Braja maidens in a particular fashion. He is the object for the eyes of everyone in the material world and performs his pastimes here for their pleasure. So what is the reason for these two kinds of pastimes? Means one in spiritual world and one in the material world. In his answer, Shukadeva Goswami says that Shri Krishna comes in his natural cowherd boy form in the material world and perform his pastimes, which everyone can see. His form as Gopala is eternal, and so is his sporting with the Braja Gopis. So the Gopis are Krishna's eternal beloveds, and their bodies are transcendental like his body. So this statement has been proved beyond any doubt. In the manifest pastimes, Bhoma Prakata Lila, the Parakya relationship between Krishna and the Gopis may be met with some skepticism. Yet, Shukadeva Goswami is blissfully absorbed in this narration, and he refers to the Braja Gopis as Adokshaja Priya, Bhagavat Priya, Krishna Vadva. It means the Gopis are very dear to Bhagavan, to Shri Krishna. Thus, it is to be understood that Shukadeva Goswami has very clearly declared that the Braja Gopis are identical in tattva with Krishna. In Gopaltapani Upanishad, Durvasa Rishi, he also tells about the Braja Gopis that Sri Nandanandana is your husband. He tells to the Braja Gopis that Krishna is your husband. In Prakata Lila, manifested pastimes, which gives rise to some type of suspicion, Shri Krishna is confirmed as their husband. According to the Kaimutika Nyaya, the same conclusion is also applied to Aprakata Lila, which is beyond any type of doubt. Means if something is applied to the material aspect, of course, the transcendental must be also. The 18-syllable Gopala mantra also establishes the same principle. Brahma has explained this mantra in Brahma Samhita 5:37. Ananda Chimaya Rasi Pratibhavitabis Tabiya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasatti Akilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purisham Tamaham Bhajami. Sri Govinda, who is all-pervading and who exists within the hearts of all, resides in his Goloka Dham, along with Sri Radha, who is the embodiment of his pleasure potency and the counterpart of his own spiritual form. She is the epitome of transcendental rasa and is expert in 64 arts. They are accompanied by the Sakhis, who are expansions of Sri Radha's own transcendental body. I worship that original personality, Sri Govinda. So here the word Kala means expansions of Krishna's body, Nija Rupataya, or his own beloveds, Swakanta. The phrase Nija Rupata expels all the doubts of paramorship in Prakata Lila. Brahma Samhita declares the Gopis as Lakshmis, goddesses of fortune, and Shri Krishna as the supreme person. This is presented in the introduction of the verse 529, Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental realm is adorned with millions of desire-fulfilling trees, pavilions bedecked with precious gems, and uncountable wishing-fulfilling cows. There he is always served with great affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. It is again affirmed in the conclusion of in the verse 556, Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha. In Golok, the Gopis, like Braja Lakshmis, are the beloveds, and the lover is the supreme person, Sri Govinda. Not only in Brahma Samhita, but other places, such as the 18-syllable Gopala mantra, the predominant word is Gopi. In the Gautamiya Tantra, Gopijana Vallabha also ascertains the same principle. Narada Muni, he is the author of this 18-syllable mantra, and he has focused upon two aspects of Bhagavan's majesties, namely Maya Shakti and Swarupa Shakti. Not the author, but the one who can understand the meaning of this mantra, the Narada Muni. So, and he has abandoned the conventional understanding that gives predominance to the chanting of Sri Bhagavan's name. For the sake of those beloved devotees who have been inducted into the inner realm of spiritual development and are meditating upon this mantra, he determines the word Govinda to mean Sri Gopala Murti, or the blissful and divine form of Gopala, which designates Krishna as the Pati, or husband of the gopis. In this way, in the manifest pastimes, the Paramur mood has been overruled. So in other words, what Jiva Goswami is saying is that although we call this Gopal mantra, and the Shastra says how important to chant Bhagavan's name, Narada Muni, when he explains this verse, he is giving more emphasis to the names of the gopis, not to the names of Krishna in the verse, because he's giving more emphasis to the side of the beloved devotees of Krishna. So according to this Siddhanta, this mantra Gopijana Vallabha is explained as the word Gopi refers to Prakriti or wife. Jana means Mahatattva or the material elements. Vallabha is the master or the shelter of these two aspects. So this Vallabha, who is Bhagavan Shri Krishna, is the extremely effulgent condensed form of bliss that pervades everywhere and is the shelter of everyone. And he is the source of bliss for the entire universe and is celebrated as the husband of the gopis in many, many lifetimes. In many lifetimes means that in many, many kalpas, he descends to the Bhauma Vrindavana. Bhauma Vrindavana means the Prakat manifested Vrindavana. And the Braja Gopis come with him. So they are his eternal associates. In Bhagavad Gita 4.5, Krishna says, O Arjuna, I have appeared many times before also. From time immemorial, Krishna advances in every age with the gopis. This has been declared in the Shrutis, Puranas and Tantras. This means that for Krishna, there is no question of the gopis being someone else's wives. How then can their association be considered improper? In this way, Shukadeva Goswami has eliminated the possibility of the gopis being adulteresses. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, Sarata Darshini. The previous verse explained that even if Shri Krishna embraces someone else's wife, he is not at fault. Bhagavan pervades every living being, and nothing is separate from him. The same Super Soul Shri Krishna is present inside the gopis, their husbands, and the entirety of living beings. So if he is dwelling inside, how can there be any wrongdoing in embracing externally? He is the witness, overseeing the intelligence of the gopis internally. So what is the fault if he sees their external bodies? The objection may be raised that being the Super Soul, he is formless, but Shri Krishna has taken a form. So why should he not be blamed like ordinary person? The answer is that he has assumed the body of a cowherd boy for performing Leela in Brajamandala. And he serves the gopis by whipping off the perspiration arising out of their strenuous amorous play. So this is the end of the purport. Verse 36. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham ashrita bhajatitta drisha krida yashrutva tat paro bhave. In order to bestow mercy upon the devotees, as well as the conditioned souls, Bhagavan Shri Krishna manifests his human-like form and performs such extraordinary pastime, Rasa Lila, that anyone who hears about them becomes exclusively devoted to him. Now the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami Pada Vaishnava Toshani. The question arises, how can Aptakama Bhagavan be disposed to amorous play? Even if he is attracted to such type of play, then what is his intention in performing activities that are censored by the world according to the external vision? But the answer is to show mercy to his devotees, Anugrahaya. Bhagavan himself says in Padma Purana, I perform various pastimes for the pleasure of my devotees. According to this statement, Bhagavan is the shelter of all existence in the form of Brahma, the Supreme Spirit. Yet, he himself takes shelter of human-like form, which is Parabrahma Swarupa, the form of the Absolute Truth. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.1, Sridhara Swamipada says, the 10th canto reveals the 10th object, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the Supreme Person, who shelters all the universes. Bhagavad Gita 14.27 says, Brahmano hi prachistam. I alone am the basis of that Nirvishesha Brahma. In this verse, number 36, we see the word Ashrita, but in some other versions, Asthita is seen. In such case, the meaning will be accepting a human-like form. In fact, this human-like figure is Lord's eternal form. It cannot be said that Shri Krishna has taken a human-like form out of his own sweet will for this pastime only, because the cowherd community saw Parabrahma Shri Krishna in a human-like form, beyond this material world, where he was being worshipped with great opulence. In the same way, to bestow mercy to his devotees, Bhagavan Shri Krishna descends in his eternal human-like form to engage in Leelas. He is Aptakama, but he showers his mercy on his devotees appropriately. This is the nature of Vishuddha Sattva. Bhagavan is always anxious to award the appropriate result to his devotees for their bhajan. Examples are mercy to King Rahugan in the pastimes of Jara Bharat, and also to you, O Parikshit, his special mercy. So here the devotees means the Braja Gopis, residents of Braja, and all other Vaishnavas for all ages, past, present, and future. Shri Krishna's Leelas include the Purvaraga of the Braja Gopis and Krishna's birth and childhood pastimes directly enjoyed by the Brajavasis. All the devotees, from past, present, and future, they get mercy by the seeing and hearing about these Leelas. Therefore, Shri Krishna expands his pastimes, which may look very ordinary, but after hearing them, devotees and others also become exclusively dedicated to him. Consequently, those who are hearing this supremely nectarian Rasa Leela will perform their bhajan with greater depth. The upcoming verse, number 39, Vikritam Brajavadu Viridam Cha, explains this topic in great detail. Those jivas in a human body will hear narrations of the pastimes because Bhagavan advances in this mortal world, and here only worship of him is predominant. So the humans get to hear these narrations very easily because Krishna has come. For example, all the places where Krishna performed these Leelas, they are accessible till now, and we can go there, and by that we can hear those pastimes. This is a way to give mercy to all the human beings. In some verses, we find the word Bhaktanam, referring to Krishna's devotees. But in different versions of Bhagavatam, we find the word Bhutanam, means including all the living entities. Actually, both are right, because when Krishna comes, not only his devotees will be benefited, all living entities, even those who are non-devotees, those who are atheistic, and those who are four-legged, six-legged animals, even trees, they also become benefited. But the main reason for Krishna to come is because of his devotees. His supremely merciful nature is the sole cause for his coming in this world. Other jivas are also benefited, but only if they associate with the devotees, not otherwise. Sridhara Swamipad has explained about this, and by hearing Bhagavan's Leela Katha, even those who are disinclined to Krishna give up their disinterest and become devotees. Speaking about Bhagavan's very special mercy, Shukadeva Goswami becomes absorbed in the ultimate limit of nectarian prema and focuses on the gopis. So another explanation for the previous verse, number 35, explains that Shri Krishna's universal form is one of his aspects. The objection is that, if this is so, why does he want to display this Leela before the worldly people? Why does he do not do it in confidence, only in his Aprakat Leela, in his eternal abode? The answer is that he does this for his devotees in this world, where he manifests his human-like form. So Bhagavan's universal form comprises all 14 planetary systems, Bhur, Bhuva, and Swa. And this mortal world is a portion of his universal form. So when Bhagavan advances here, he accepts that portion of the mortal world present in his universal form to bestow his mercy upon his devotees. It is said that Bhagavan's different limbs form the 14 planetary systems. The earth is his body, is evidence given in the Shrutis. New practitioners are instructed to worship this gigantic form to stabilize their minds. It is inferred that the earth and the other planets are formed by his limbs, but this is his marginal characteristic. So whatever it is, the use of the word body in the Shrutis indicates a human form. So Yashrutva Tatparo Bhavet. Hearing this, devotees and other becomes dedicated to him. The word Tatpara is explained first. The devotees and even non-devotees will be inclined to devotion by hearing this lila. Anugrahaya Bhuttanam is also seen in some places, which means giving mercy to all living beings. Someone might say that devotees and non-devotees who hear about Rasa Lila without having proper qualification will consequently encounter impairment in their bhajan, means impediments in their bhajans. But such explanation cannot be accepted. According to the context, the correct understanding is that Shri Krishna became eager to perform Rasa Lila. This Lila is so attractive to the heart that when Krishna hears it from the lips of the devotees, he himself becomes captivated. Now the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sarata Darshini. So in this verse, Anugraha answers Parikshit Maharaj's second question. Why did Shri Krishna perform this prohibited act? He did so to show his mercy to the devotees. After hearing narrations of this Leela, humans will develop faith and will become dedicated to him. So what more can be said about this Rasa Leela? Out of all his pastimes, this Rasa Leela shines forth with the greatest glory. It is not only full of nectar up to the brim, but it also has some very astonishing and incomprehensible potency. Like the powerful medicine of a priceless mantra that makes all humans become inclined to bhakti. What more can be said on this subject, which drowns all kinds of devotees in supreme bliss? A human form is a chief requisite to do bhajan and to thus easily attain bhakti for Shri Krishna, because Bhagavan advanced among the human beings in this mortal world, where one can easily hear about Rasa Lila from the glorious devotees. So this is the end of the purport. So the main thing to understand about this Rasa Lila is that we cannot judge it from the human dharma point of view, because Rasa Lila exists before human dharma. So, and the obvious thing is that God would never do something which is wrong or something which is not favorable to everyone. So the thing is, whatever happens in the spiritual world, it has a reflected, the contrary reflection in this material world. So to give up everything and just surrender to Krishna, this is the goal of everyone. So in the case of the gopis, when they give up everything and surrender to Krishna, the way Krishna is going to exchange love with them, it is in the most intimate way. So for example, we can also see some faults in the elder gopis who have children. They don't love their children as much as they love Krishna. We can see this also as a fault, but we cannot judge this from the mundane point of view. We have to see it with the absolute perspective that love is the most important thing. My pranam to all. Vanchakalpatarvesya kripa sindhu devacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Haribol.